Gilmer, and this is 30 Years War. I thought I was going to tell you I was going to do a Let's Play on this. And let's turn the music off. I mean, I love that music, but I cannot hear myself think when the music's that loud. 30 Years War. I'm going to do a Let's Play of it. I don't know when. I'm still looking at replacing my computer, but I really have been looking forward to this game. Let's go back to the time of pike and shot and when the Swiss were, really killing it on the battlefield and weren't neutral. I think I've mentioned this before. I think that within the Treaty of Westphalia, I think that I'm not an expert on this. I think I remember this from my history classes and from my readings. Treaty of Westphalia in 1648 specifically forbade Switzerland to ever export mercenaries ever again, and it was specifically because of the 30 Years War. And they were badass in those days. Their mercenaries were, I think they were called the Landsknecht. I can't pronounce that word, but it's a German/Swiss word, Germanic in origin, and they were badass. They ruled the fields almost, in many cases. And what they were, I guess, basically pikemen, but better. And they were so feared that everybody, I guess, pitched in and said they could never export mercenaries like that again. And part of that, also, that treaty is the Vatican is guarded by the Swiss Guard, and that was part of the Treaty of Westphalia as well. And that's the only place that they can have troops now. I mean, I think they obviously have militia for their defense of their country, but the only place that they have troops outside of Switzerland is the Swiss Guard at the Vatican. So it's a very interesting time. It's a time when people, and not so dissimilar from today, I suppose, when people fought over religion. And at this time in the 30 Years War, they were fighting, the Catholics were fighting the Protestants, and it was a very, very bloody time. And of course, much of the battles occur on German land, or what became later Germany, because that just seems like the meeting place of the nations where they're going to fight. Most of the battles, well, I wouldn't say most of the battles, but a lot of World War I was right near or on or right around the German borders. And if you remember my Let's Play Rise of Prussia, that almost that whole campaign was on land that eventually would be German land. And of course World War II, there were a lot of fighting on German land as well, and partly because Germany and Prussia before it, the precursor to Germany, were very, very technologically and very well trained troops. The only time I can think of when Prussia/Germany, I almost use them interchangeably. Of course, it's anybody who knows history knows that they're not really interchangeable, but the Kingdom of Prussia eventually formed Germany with a lot of the smaller German states, which had been previously part of the Holy Roman Empire. But the only time in the history of Prussia where they really didn't have excellent troops was during the time of Napoleon, and they suffered because of it. But Napoleon beat them several times, and they weren't considered excellent troops at that time. But then that was right after Frederick the Great, and he had them as excellent troops during his time. And then after the Napoleon era, the Prussians decided to revamp their military and be better at it, get better at it again, and become more well trained. And from that point on, I don't know the exact year that they really started rebuilding their military through excellence and training. But by the time the 1860s, 1870s rolled around, they were a very formidable fighting force. And of course, then Otto von Bismarck was able to uh, reconstitute or create the German, well, I guess what was called the German Empire at that time. And he was able to bring a lot of the smaller German states under the fold of Germany, and it became Germany. I don't exactly know exactly the year. I think it was 1871 or 1872. And from that point on, Germany was one of the top 2, 3 major players in Europe. From that point on, they were second to none in almost everything. I don't necessarily know that I should be too admiring of them because I'm of Polish descent, and some of their greatness was at the expense of Poland, but I have to give credit where credit's due. And the Polish fighters were tough, but they couldn't, in many cases, couldn't take on Germany, Russia, and Austria on all different sides. It was impossible for them. So, but yeah, Germany was pretty tough during most of the time. I'm starting to ramble now, but 30 Years War, I'm really looking forward to doing a Let's Play of this. As I mentioned, I have not replaced my computer yet. It's still making a sound. I'm thinking about, it's 4 years old, so, I could buy a $600 computer and it would be better than the computer I have, but I don't want to go cheap on this, but I don't want to go crazy and spend $3,000. I'm looking more in the range of about $1,400, $1,500, and that'll get me probably a SSD drive, about 16 megabytes of RAM, and maybe an NVIDIA card, GTX 970, with 2 to 4 gigs of RAM in the video card. So that's what I'm looking at. And it'd be more than enough to run 30 Years War, but I also play other games. I'm not just a strategy war gamer. I like to I pretty much like to play all games. I just don't do Let's Play of all of them. I like to, I'm very interested in some of these games like, Metal Gear 5 and Just Cause 3 and things like that. So I'm going to need a better computer than I had probably to run those games. And I also like racing games too. I haven't done a lot of racing in the last few years, but I'm starting to get a little bit more interested in it again. I'm a big Formula One fan. I've been following the Formula One season. They got a race this weekend, and I'm kind of a Nico Rosberg fan, and kind of also a Sebastian Vettel fan. But I don't really have too many true favorites in racing. I just love watching the Formula One racing. So anyway, like I said, I'm a big fan of all these type games, but this game I was very much looking forward to. Let's just click up a new game, and my mouse is this is a horrible mouse. I don't know why it's so bad, but it just does not work very well. It's a Logitech wireless M510. It's supposed to be a fairly decent mouse, but it's not too good. So of course, when and if I do, well, I'm not going to say if because I know I'm going to do a Let's Play. I'm going to do a Let's Play of the 30 Years War. Now, I see that the random gamer is asking people what side he should play. I guarantee you that most people are probably going to play the Protestants. I don't know why I think that, but I just got this feeling that people are going to play the Protestants. And so that means I'm probably going to play the Holy Roman Empire. And we'll just see what it looks like. I love that opening screen. And look at this map. This map is just beautiful to me. I mean, it is a very exciting, very I wouldn't say it's too busy. It's just it's a very colorful map. Let's see. Welcome, sir. The Empire is in trouble. The Bohemians are in revolt. They are besieging two cities that remain loyal to us, Pilsen and Budweis. Sounds like a couple of beers. Our army is ready at Vienne under the orders of the Count of Bucquoy, a good commander and a loyal one. But the Empire is not prepared for war. Even more, there are rumors that the regions of Moravia, Silesia, Lusatia could help the rebels. And worse, the Hungarian Bethlen Gabor could join them, seeing this revolt as a good chance to attack us. What can we do to be victorious? Maybe Spain could help us. Spain is in truce with the Netherlands, so maybe they could send troops to help us, and even money. And the Pope, yes, the Pope is on good terms with us because they're Catholic. So he could probably send us some money. Maximilian of Bavaria is Catholic like us, and he's the leader of the Catholic League. His help could be decisive. Build a powerful army and do some damage that Protestants. If we can wait some months, we could be in a better situation to prevail in this war. Okay. So basically it's saying build a fairly powerful army, do some damage to the Protestants. If you can, survive for a couple months, it's similar to the American Revolutionary War. If you can survive a couple months and prove to everybody that you will be able to, you could win the war, that there is some worth in helping you out, then you'll start getting some help from people. Tips. Use the options in the ledger when they are available. Check the log each turn. There is important info there to help you making good decisions. Supplies are critical to maintain your armies, so keep an eye on them. The first months of the war, your army is at its weakest, so try to strengthen it while holding Vienna at all costs and defending Budweis. Once you have the support of Spain and Bavaria with Tilly in command. Tilly's a very good general, from what I remember, from what I've read. They said his army was almost unbeatable when he was in command, and then of course he died at one of the battles, and from then on I think that they started having trouble again. But anyway, and Bavaria with Tilly in command, you should be in a dominant situation. From then until the end of the game, you must hold all key cities you can and crush all the enemy armies that you will find as time passes. Play diplomatic decisions to lower the enemy loyalty on the diplomatic boxes to delay other countries from entering the war. If Denmark gets involved in the war around 1624, defeat its armies and hold the key cities in proximity to Denmark: Kiel, Hamburg, Aarhus. This will make Denmark surrender. Once Denmark has been contained, your main concern will be Sweden, as they can declare war in the following months. If they do, then a new dimension of the war starts. Sweden is really powerful with good leaders. You must do your best to defeat them. Sweden is being led by Gustavus Adolphus, and he was an excellent commander, and of course he died in battle as well. And once he died, I don't think they were as resilient as they had been. And I think there was a quote from Gustavus that said somebody was trying to get him to wear armor, and he wouldn't wear armor, and then he got shot with a blunderbuss or something and died. Sweden is really powerful with good leaders. You must do your best to defeat them. More armies will come in time from Spain, and new enemies can appear, such as Saxony and France. Good luck, sir. So France is Catholic, but I think that they are very opportunistic, and they will come in and attack Germany, the Holy Roman Empire, when they have a chance, if they think they can get some land out of it. So I think this is at this time France is I don't know what king it is, but Cardinal Richelieu is the king's advisor, and he is, if you remember any movies about the Three Musketeers, he is a very ruthless but very cunning, very intelligent man, and is very formidable. And so if France enters a war, it's because he sees that there is something to be gained by doing so. So if you see them coming, you're probably in trouble. because I think they have some pretty good troops as well. So have I read every one of the? Oh, I think I did. Catholic strategy. Yep. So I've read everything here. So let's. F1 should be your troops, and they said that Bukoy, Armin. I don't know if that's part of his name or the army name or what, but I know his first. I don't know if his first or last name is Bukoy, or however that works. But okay, it's Count Bukoy, and Dampierre is leading this troop. Is leading this army, or maybe that's his name. So I'm trying to use this. I bet it's my mouse. It is my mouse. It's screwing up. So this is our army. This is General Bukoy. He's a 322. I think if you remember from my other Let's Plays, strategic rating is 3, offensive is 2, and defensive is 2. And strategic rating controls whether he is active or inactive. And as you can see, if you remember also from my Let's Plays, if the letter, the letter envelope is closed in dark yellow, then he's inactive. If it's open and white, he's active. So he's inactive this turn. He's brave. He's a morale booster. He is Catholic. And he is overcautious. Look at the artwork on these guys, though. This is amazing. I mean, you can't really beat that. I know that people like to talk about, how strategy games, the graphics aren't very good. Well, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat the artwork that they do. I know it's not moving around and shooting and all that crap, but that's a very excellent drawing right there. And actually, I mean, no offense to Ajod and all the rest of the games that they put out, because I think they've done a very good job with the graphics in other games. But the graphics in this game look about the best I've seen so far of all the Ajod games I've played. I mean, this is awesome. I love how they even have a shadow. Nice. So this is the element panel, and what it does is it tells you a little bit about the element and elements make up the army. It gives you an overview. Their combat power is average. They have no experience, 0 of 10, and they have 175 men of 250 total. Combat, it tells you all the different things, and all these numbers go into the die roll and the calculations that they figure out on how the battles end up. So that's pretty neat. They have a range of 3, because in this day and age, in the 1600s, firearms were starting to come into their own, but they had not really become the very deadly kind of rifles that took over the battlefield for the individual infantryman in later years. But even so, they're finally starting to figure out that rifles and blunderbusses and things like that, for their shock value, really works very well, and especially against cavalry. So they were starting to implement units with firearms, strictly firearms, and then you have mixed units sometimes that have half pike and half rifles or blunderbusses or muskets or whatever they carry. So it's a very interesting time. I clicked on the Colato. See how the shit, where's my damn mouse? God, this mouse sucks. Look at it, it's all over the place. I can't control it. Okay, as you can see, they look almost like they're armored. My mouse is just not working. It will not move. God, I hate this mouse. Anyway, as you can see, they're armored. They look like they're almost like they're knights, but then the individual unit is Looks more like almost like a musketeer from the movies Three Musketeers. They have the wide brimmed hat and a musket. The musketeers, I mean musketeer obviously, but musketeers fought with swords. I'm sure he has a sword at some point. I don't know what that is right there in his left hand, but maybe that's his ramrod or whatever they call it to load the weapon. So let's take a look at. Let's close this if we can get our mouse to work. Jesus. This mouse is really pissing me off. I'm going to have to get a new mouse. I just bought this mouse. I'm going to have to get a new one because it sucks. It really does suck. Let's take a look at Bukoy. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And this is Bukoy. And then they give a little history of him. Became colonel at the age of 26. He fought in the Battle of Newport, 1600. The Siege of Ostend, 1601 to 1604, and distinguished himself as a general of the artillery in the Frisian campaigns of the Ambrogio Spinola. Don't know what that is. I'll have to probably look that up. In 1613, was appointed as governor of the county of Hainaut. I'm probably butchering that. In August 1614, takes charge of the Imperial Army. In August 1618, returned to Vienna and took command of the imperial forces raised to put down the revolt. Defeated by Count Matthias von Thurn on November 9th in the Battle of Lomnice, he was unable to save the besieged town of Pilsen. He also commanded the imperial forces during the Battle of White Mountain on November 8th, 1620. Bukoy was killed during the siege of Ursakivar, I'm not sure. Novosemki on July 10th, 1621. Hey, I'm Polish. I can't even pronounce some of these names. I don't know if that's a Polish city or not, but I mean some of these things are like freaking damn jawbreakers. Look at this. My mouse goes wild again. I swear, I'm literally going to have to buy a new. I'm going to buy a new computer. Going to buy a new damn mouse. I'm going to buy a whole bunch of crap. This is ridiculous. It's frozen, and then it moves, and it moves erratically. I don't get it. Sometimes turning it off and on makes it work better. In this case, it does not. I'm gonna take this back or something. This is ridiculous. This thing's a piece of shit. I'd rather have a wired mouse that costs $12. They work a lot better sometimes. This is Dampier, General Dampier. Not very much about him. Henri Duval Graf von Dampier. Sounds French. From 1616 to 1617, commander in war against Venice. Commander in 1619 against Bohemian rebels. Not very much about him. What is his overview? He's a 322 as well. Of course, Bukoy has a lot more abilities than he does, but still. All right. We'll probably look at a lot more of this on another day, or we can look at some expert gunner. Can only target siege cities. Heavy artillery must be present. Cost 5 engagement points. Will create 30% chance of breach in a besieged fortification or city. Oh, okay. Scorched earth. We know what that is. Build defensive works. Pretty much. This is interesting. Recruit a mercenary infantry regiment in a friendly region with unbesieged city with a leader. Cost 8,000 thalers. 5 engagement points, and 2 war supplies. I wonder if that's a cost every turn, because mercenaries cost every turn usually. In war, they cost constantly, I think. But maybe you just buy them one time and that's it. You get to keep them. Requisitions, contributions, raid, convert to Catholic. Okay. And I guess what that means is if the population of a region is Protestant, then you would want to convert them to Catholic, and then they'd be more loyal to you. Makes sense. What else? Strategic Atlas. Unbelievable. Production has the normal replacement queue that you saw in To End All Wars and also in Revolution Under Siege. Jesus. Diplomacy. Map. F7. Regions. F8. Objectives. F9. And this obviously is... And of course I can't get my mouse to cursor over any of this. This objective belongs to the Central Europe Theater. Can't really tell what map is controlling it. I don't know if that's... I guess that is Protestant. The red with the two bayonets or whatever, or sabers crossed, are rebels usually. And then the gold, you can't really see it, but I think that's an eagle, a black eagle on a gold background, which is, I'm pretty sure, the Holy Roman Empire. And it's similar to that, which is the Holy Roman Empire. So, no foreign entry possible. I'm sure that changes because this is the full campaign. And look at that. You remember how I mentioned in To End All Wars and also Revolution Under Siege that if you put the Catholics on this line, their combat power would probably be 100 because it's baseline 100, and the Protestants have a power of 66%. And I'm sure that changes, obviously, when other cities or other states join the Protestants. Denmark joins or Sweden joins to fight. So that number will be constantly changing. All right, I'm going to close this. I'm still trying to decide if how I want to do this. I've got my Revolution Under Siege Gold Let's Play still ongoing. I've got a computer that makes a horrifying racket. I don't know if you can hear it. It might sound like white noise to you over my microphone, but it kind of wears on me after a while listening to it. I can hear it through my headphone. But I'm also sitting here watching some college football. I know that some of you are probably European and don't really get the interest that we have in American football, but I really like watching that, so I'm probably going to watch that a little bit tonight and probably not do a Let's Play if I do anything. But I'm really, really excited about this game being out, and I think I'm going to check out the forums and also check out the Random Gamer, see if he has any moves or has started his Let's Play of this yet. I know he's done an introduction. I'm sitting there clicking on that like 10 times, and my mouse is... I don't know if it's because this mouse just sucks in an AJOG game or what, but it's really, really pissing me off. Well, I know that's not the case because it was sucking ass on just navigating around on the Windows screen. So this mouse sucks. I'm really disappointed in Logitech having such a shitty mouse. But anyway, this is Gilmer. This is kind of a preview, I guess, to the 30 Years' War, just to let you know that another excellent AJOG game has come out. And be looking for... What is this? This looks like something you can click on. If I could get my mouse over there to click on it, oh, it just clicks to your capital. I guess that's a cross with a banner on it. What is this? Click on military recruitment mode. And of course, being the first turn, they don't really have anything available to be bought. But it's similar to Revolution Under Siege, To End All Wars, and Rise of Prussia. You will have units across here, and you can buy them with your money, your manpower, and your war supply. You'll have to have a little bit of all three to buy units. So that's very, very interesting to see what will be. Save your turn, back to main menu, proceed to next turn, and we're back to the main screen. I love this picture. I mean, this painting. I guess these are troop formations down here. They're very square formations. I don't know if that's exactly what really happened in real battles, but I mean, I'm sure it's possible. But anyway, thank you for watching, and be on the lookout, because I'm coming back, and I'm coming back with a vengeance. I'm going to finish my Revolution Under Siege Gold Let's Play, and I'm also going to do a 30 Years War Let's Play, and I'll be bringing to you more games of the AJOD title, and showing you what they're capable of, showing you a little bit of the artwork, just to give a little bit of appreciation to these games. I really like them. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.